everybody. Yeah, this is here and I'll be doing a short video on simultaneous equation. I'll be solving the question, but first, before we start simultaneous equation, before we start solving rather, I want to tell you that there are three methods in solving simultaneous equation. We have the graphical method, we have the elimination method, and we have the substitution method. The graphical method is majorly used to find the values of what you're asked to graphically. Then the substitution method is just made by substituting one value for the other. Then elimination method, I call it the assassination method as well, whereby you have to kill one to make one survive. Then when that one has survived, then you end up substituting that surviving one for the other, so you can regain back the one that has been lost. So that's all we'll be doing this morning. So quick one. So just fasten your seatbelt because we're going on the what. That's right. Thank you. These are the equations we have on the board. This is of the equations 2x plus y equals to 6 and 3x plus 2y is equal to 2. So solving this equation, like I said, we have three methods. We can either use the graphical method, we can either use the substitution method, we can either use uh, the elimination method. In a case like this, it's easier to use the substitution method. Why did I say that? Because now looking at equation 1, the coefficient, before I go into details, first we need to know some terms like the word called coefficient. A coefficient is a constant beside a variable. A constant means something that doesn't change. Then the variable can simply means anything. So like y here, y is a variable, x is a variable, because x can be any number, y can also be any number. So since they can be any number, they are termed a variable. So but for in place of 2, 3 and 2 here, you can see they are constant. So the two standing beside the variable, for example, if I have 2z, 2 here is the coefficient of z, because 2 is the constant of z. Even if I have, let's say, y over 4, which is simple, which simply means it's the same as 1 over 4 times y. 1 over 4 here is the coefficient and y is the variable. So now I've been able to explain what the coefficient is. So looking at equation 1, we see that the coefficient of y is 1. So we can simply just what? Make y the subject of our formula. So doing that now, so from equation, you can say from equation, using substitution method, using substitution method, let me divide my body into 2 so I can use the other part. So from equation 1, I'll have 2x minus y will be equal to 6. So making y the subject of formula, meaning I can take y to the other side, then because it becomes positive, or I take this one to the other side, then go ahead. But let me take y to the other side, then move this one to the side. So that gives me 2x. Since 6 is a positive number, if I'm taking this over the side, it becomes a negative. And y is a positive negative number, moving over to the side becomes positive. So that gives me 2x minus 6 will be equal to y. That tells me that wherever I have y, I can replace it with 2x minus 6. Or wherever I have 2x minus 6, I can replace it with y. So that tells me that y is equal to 2x minus 6. So what I will do now, I will have to substitute this. I'll call this equation 3. I'll call this equation 3. So I'll have to substitute equation 3 into equation 2 so that I can solve for y. I'm trying to get the value for y. So doing this now, so I'm substituting y equals to x minus 6 in equation 2. That gives me that from equation 2, let me change the marker. From equation 2, I have that 3x plus 2y is equals to 2. So that gives me 3x plus 2 into, because y is 2x minus 6, that'll be 2x minus 6 is equals to what? 2. Right, so I'll continue from here. So I'll simplify this. That gives me 3x plus 2 plus 4x rather minus 12 is equal to 2. You can see that now you can tell that we have just one variable here instead of 2 we had earlier. We had just one variable, and the variable we have here is just x. So that can make us easily solve for x. So that'll give me 2 plus 3x plus 4x. I'll give me 7x. So transferring positive this one to the side, because it does not have anything in common with the x. I'll take it to where it has something in common. So taking it to the side becomes plus 12. So that gives me 12 plus 2, which is 14. So 7x will be equals to 14 and x will be equals to. So to get the value of x, I'll divide both the right and the left hand side. So whatever I do to the right hand side, I'll do to the left hand side. I'll divide both sides by 7 so that we can get the value of x. So say divide both sides by 7. So I'm dividing both sides by the coefficient of x. So that gives me that 7x all over 7 will be equals to 14 all over 2, 7 rather. So x, 7 cancel 7, 7 here 1, 7 here 2. So x will be equals to the value of what? 2. So now we've gotten the value of x. So now we want to simply get the value of y. And get solving the value of y, all I have to do, I'll substitute x, because now we now know that x is equal to what? To 2. Since we know x is equal to 2, all I have to do is to, wherever I have x, I can decide to take equation 3, equation 2, or equation 1, any of the equation, and substitute the value of x. But looking at it, I'd rather go to equation 3, where it's already showing me, telling me that y is equal to this. So wherever I have x in equation 3, I'll substitute 2 in it. So I can say from equation 3, so x is equal to 2. So that gives me y now will be equals to 2 into 2, because x is 2. Okay, let me just write it in full. So y is equal to 2x minus 6. So because x is 2, so that y will be equal to 2 into 2 minus 6. So y will be equals to 4 minus 6. So when a smaller number is subtracting the bigger number, so it becomes a negative value. So that gives me y will be equals to negative 2. So yeah. So if I should put sorry, if I should put the value of y minus 2 and x equal to in this equation, I will arrive at this. So to be sure of that, we now know our two values. So let's be sure that what we have done is correct. So like, well, okay, let me see if I can cut out the space from here, here. Good. So I hope you can see this. Okay, good. So now from equation, so let's be sure what we have done. So let's confirm our value. So from equation 1, we have that 2x minus y is equals to 6. So we know that y is equals to negative 2 and x is equal to positive 2. That gives me 2 into 2 minus negative 2. So let's see if to be equal to 6. 2 times 2, 4, minus 2 times negative 2, that gives me positive 2. So my answer is 6. So that tells me that the value for y equals to 2 and the value for x is equals to 2 are correct. Thank you very much. And the next one I'm about to do is to solve for the is to use the elimination method. We have been able to use the substitution method. The next one we want to use is the elimination method. Thank you very much. So let's go to the next one. Okay, so we want to use the elimination method. Let me indicate it. Elimination method. Please note this standard is for grades 5 to 9, because if a grade this is a grade 9 question, but I'm so sure grade 5, when properly taught, can answer this question very well. So also grade 6, grade 7, because it's the same thing. So now let's use the elimination method. Now the elimination method is different from the substitution method. In this case now, you can see that the coefficient of either x or y are not 1 unitary. That means they are not 1. Unlike a substitution method, that we for us to use it, we make sure that one has a coefficient of 1. But in this case, none of them does. X has, let's look at the coefficient of x, 3 and 5. For y, we have 2 and 3. So they don't have a single one that the coefficient. For example, if it was just x or y, then the coefficient of x is 1, the coefficient of y is 1. But in this case, we don't have any of this, so we have to use the what elimination method. So use the elimination method now. It's very simple. It's very, very simple. So all we have to do now is to make sure that is either we eliminate x or we kill y. I don't see the word kill, but then we eliminate x or we eliminate y. So how can we do that? How can that happen? For that to happen, we have to make sure that the coefficient of x, if let's assume we want to eliminate x, now we'll have to make sure that the coefficient of x are what? Equal. Do you understand? So, but if we want to eliminate y, we have to make sure that the coefficient of y are equal. So I don't know which one we want to eliminate. So let's eliminate y. Let me eliminate y now in this case now. So for me to make sure that the two coefficients are equal, first of all, I'll multiply equation. Okay, this is 2, this is 3. What can I do that the both of them are equal? 6. There are factors of 6, so both of them can divide 6 without having the remainder. So if I should multiply 3 by 2, I'll have 6. If I should multiply 3 by 2, I'll have 6. If I should multiply 2 by 3, I also have 6 for y here in equation 2. So, and note, whatever you're using to multiply equation 1, use it to multiply every number of values there. So now in equation 1, from equation 1, we multiply equation 1 by 3, meaning that every values there have to be multiplied by 3. So that gives me equation 1 times 3, that gives me 9x plus 6y equals to 12 times 3 is 36. I call this equation 3. So equation 2 by 2 this is going to give me 10x minus 6y equals to 2, equation 4. So now you can see that both the coefficient of y are not the same. So what can we do? So we need to eliminate y. So for me to eliminate y now, I need to take out everything about y. So if I should put a negative sign here, what will happen? What will happen if I should put a negative sign? If I should put a negative sign, I won't be able to eliminate y because negative times negative gives me positive. So this becomes 12y. So it will not turn 0. So, but what I have to do, I have to introduce the positive sign into each of them. So 10x, so I'll say equation 4 plus equation 3. So 10x plus 9x will give me 19x. So now negative 6y plus 6y will give me that's going to give me 0 because positive times negative times positive gives me negative. So it will still remain negative. So that will be like 6y. That still remains like 6y minus 6y, which is what? Or negative 6y positive 6y, which is what? 0. So very okay. In our next class, we should talk about the signs, the multiplication of signs, division of signs, and subtraction of signs, and even addition of signs. We'll talk about that in the next class. So now we've been able to eliminate what? X, y rather. So it's not 0. So now so it will be 2 plus 36. This is going to give me what? Equal to what? 38. So x will be equal to 38 divided by 19. How did I get that? I divided both sides by the coefficient of x, which is 19. So x will be equal to what? 2. Simple, right? Good. So since we've gotten the value of x, all we need to do is to substitute the value of x into equation 1 or equation 2. So we can get our y. So now we are now back to the substitution method now. So which of them would be... I'll take it to equation 1. So substitute substitute x equals to 2 in equation 1. That'll give me 3x plus 2y be equals to 12. So that gives me 3 into 2 plus 2y equals to 12. That gives me 6 plus 2y equals to 12. Taking 6 to the side becomes a negative because a positive value here. So that gives me 2y will be equals to 12 minus 6. So 2y will be equals to 6. So divide both sides by the coefficient of y. That gives me y will be equals to 6 all over 2 and y will be equals to 3. So our value for x is 2 and our value for y is 3. So to confirm our answer, let's put it here in equation 1. So I believe we test it a little. Okay. So to be sure what we have done is correct. So let's say put the value of x and y in equation 1. That gives me 3x plus 2y equals to 12, right? So where x is 2, you put 2. That'll be 3 into 2 plus y is 3, plus 2 into 3, right? Okay, yeah. So 3 times 2 is 6. 2 times 3 is 6. That's 6. I give us 12. So what we have done is correct. So the next class we'll do, the next video we're going to do word problem. Like I said, there's a real life application to this. So for now, thank you very much, and we'll see you later. Bye.